Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Number 1. Have you ever held a piece of American history right in the palm of your hand? Well, if you've come across a certain quarter minted in 2021, you just might have. It's more than just spare change, it's a tribute, a legacy, and for some lucky collectors, a small fortune waiting to be discovered. Today, we're talking about one of the most remarkable coins in the America the Beautiful Quarters program, the 2021 Tuskegee Airman National Historic Site Quarter. And now, at first glance, this coin may not look very different from the others in your pocket. It has the familiar quarter shape, the usual George Washington portrait on the front. But flip it over, and that's where the story begins. What you're looking at is a powerful piece of remembrance. The back of this quarter honors the legendary Tuskegee Airmen, the first African-American military aviators in the United States Armed Forces. These brave pilots flew during World War II, at a time when racism and segregation were deeply entrenched in American society. Despite the challenges, they fought for freedom both abroad and at home, proving their skill and heroism in the skies over Europe and Africa. The quarter's reverse design captures this legacy perfectly. A young pilot standing tall, looking toward a pair of P-51 Mustangs soaring above the Moton Field Control Tower in Alabama, the very place where these heroes trained. But this coin isn't just a tribute. It's also the final entry in a remarkable series, the last release in the 56-coin America the Beautiful program. That fact alone has made it instantly collectible. Being the last of any series always adds value, but this quarter carries even more weight because of the history it represents and the limited time it was minted in. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. You see, not every Tuskegee Airman quarter is the same. There are different mint marks: Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. There are standard circulation coins, uncirculated versions, proof coins, and even rare errors that occurred during the minting process. And those are what collectors crave. A misaligned die, a double strike, a clipped planchet, small flaws that make a coin one in a million. Imagine finding one of these rare error coins, completely by chance. Maybe it's tucked away in a jar of coins you've forgotten about, or perhaps it's part of your childhood collection you just unearthed in the attic. These kinds of finds happen more often than you'd think, and they can turn ordinary people into lucky collectors overnight. Let's talk a bit about condition, too. Coin collectors are incredibly picky when it comes to grading. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially one that's been professionally graded as MS70 or Proof 70, can fetch a premium. Add a rare minting error on top of that, and suddenly, your quarter isn't just rare, it's potentially priceless. So how much could one of these little treasures be worth? For most, the 2021 Tuskegee Airman quarter will always be a powerful symbol of American bravery and progress. But for a select few, the rarest of the rare, it can also mean a life-changing discovery. And yes, you heard that right. There have been verified cases where a rare, uncirculated error coin from this exact 2021 Tuskegee Airman quarter series has sold for as much as $32,000. Now that's a story worth telling, and a coin worth hunting for. So next time you're sorting through your change, take a closer look. History might just be staring back at you, and if you're lucky, it could also be worth a fortune. If you enjoyed today's journey into American coinage, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a chance to uncover treasure. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting! Number 2. We're going deep into the world of one very special quarter, the 2019 Lowell Quarter, part of the United States Mint's America the Beautiful series. Now, before you toss the change into a vending machine, you might want to take a second look. That quarter sitting in your palm could be a quiet treasure waiting to be discovered. The 2019 Lowell Quarter honors the Lowell National Historical Park in Massachusetts, a place that tells the incredible story of America's early industrial revolution. Back in the 19th century, Lowell was a booming center for textile manufacturing, where innovation, labor, and technology came together to reshape how America worked. The coin's design is more than just a nod to this historic site, it's a miniature work of art. On the reverse side, you'll see a young mill girl standing at a power loom. Through the window, you catch a glimpse of a towering clock and the Butte Cotton Mills, one of the most iconic features of the Lowell Industrial Complex. It's a tribute to the women who powered the American economy long before many even had the right to vote. It's rare to find a coin that captures such an important part of history, especially one that highlights the role of women in America's growth and progress. But this coin does just that. It's part of a series, yes, one of 56 released between 2010 and 2021, but LOL stands out not just for its design, but for the stories it represents. Of course, for coin collectors, history isn't the only thing that matters. Condition, rarity, mint marks, these are the details that turn a coin from common to coveted. The Lowell Quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each with their own mint mark, P, D, or S. There are standard circulation coins, and then there are special edition proofs, coins struck with greater precision and clarity. Even more exciting are the rare minting errors that sometimes slip through the cracks. Misalignments, double dies, clipped planchets, small imperfections that make the coin incredibly valuable. And here's the kicker: these error coins aren't locked away in museums. They're out there. In cash registers. In pockets. In your kitchen drawer. Every now and then, someone stumbles across one and their lives change instantly. Collectors are always on the lookout for Lowell quarters with high-quality strikes, limited mint runs, or error features. And when these rare conditions align with a coin's historical value and aesthetic appeal, that's when things get really interesting. Let's talk about grading for a moment. Professional grading services, like NGC or PCGS, assign scores to coins based on their condition. A coin graded MS70, that's mint state 70, is considered flawless. Combine that with a rare error or a low mintage variation, and suddenly, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding an investment. So, what's the big deal? What's the number everyone wants to hear? Well, hold on to your seat, because one such rare version of the 2019 Lowell Quarter, perfectly preserved, with a highly sought-after error, has sold to a collector for as much as $36,000. Yes, you heard that right. So the next time you're fishing for change in the couch cushions or breaking $1 at the corner store, don't be too quick to spend that quarter. Give it a closer look. Look for the design, check the mint mark, inspect the condition. Because what seems like spare change might just be your ticket to a piece of American history, and possibly a small fortune. Thanks for joining us on today's coin adventure. If you love stories like these, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss the next incredible discovery. Number 3. If you're someone who enjoys the thrill of finding hidden treasures in everyday places, then you're in for a treat today. Grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's dive into the story of a little coin that carries big value, the 2007 Idaho State Quarter. You might have one lying around in a jar or tucked away in an old drawer. But what if I told you that this seemingly ordinary quarter could be worth thousands of dollars? Let's take a closer look and discover why collectors are hunting for this special piece, and how it could turn into an unexpected fortune for the lucky few who hold the rarest versions. The 2007 Idaho Quarter was part of the hugely popular 50-state quarters program launched by the U.S. Mint in 1999. Every year, 5 new state quarters were released, each celebrating a different state's unique heritage, landmarks, or symbols. By the time Idaho's coin entered circulation in 2007, the series had already become a cultural phenomenon. Millions of Americans were collecting these coins right from their pocket change, grandparents, kids, seasoned numismatists, all hoping to complete the full set. So what makes the Idaho Quarter stand out from the rest? The coin's reverse side features a stunning image of the peregrine falcon in mid-flight, wings fully extended, gaze sharp and focused. Behind the bird, you'll notice an outline of the state of Idaho, giving the design a perfect balance of natural beauty and state pride. The falcon, once endangered in the United States, represents strength, resilience, and Idaho's commitment to wildlife conservation. And there, just below the bird, are the words Esto Perpetua, Idaho's state motto, meaning let it be perpetual. On the obverse side, like all quarters in the series, you'll see the familiar profile of George Washington. Simple. Classic. Patriotic. Now, here's where things get really interesting. While millions of Idaho quarters were produced for general circulation, a small number were struck under different conditions, using special dies or created with subtle errors. Some had double dies, off-center strikes, or even rare planchet errors, and those mistakes, as small as they may seem, are like gold to collectors. Imagine a quarter that has been misaligned during minting. To an average person, it might just look odd or misprinted. But to a trained collector or a numismatic expert, that flaw could turn a simple coin into a coveted rarity. And that's exactly what's happened with certain Idaho quarters from 2007. Even more desirable are quarters that were never released into circulation, known as mint state or proof coins, that have been preserved in flawless condition. These coins, untouched by time and wear, shine with detail and brilliance. And when combined with a rare error or a production flaw, their value can skyrocket. Collectors are drawn to these coins not just for their rarity, but for the story they tell. Each minting error, each unusual feature, carries with it a narrative of the complex and fascinating process of coin creation. It's a blend of history, artistry, and chance, the perfect mix for a hidden treasure. So now you're probably wondering, what is the most that one of these rare 2007 Idaho quarters has ever sold for? You may want to sit down for this point. One specific version of the 2007 Idaho quarter, struck with a highly unusual mint error and found in pristine, uncirculated condition, was sold for an astonishing $46,000. That's right. A single quarter, the kind that usually sits forgotten in your change cup, became a life-changing discovery for one lucky person. And the best part? Coins like this are still out there. You might find one in a collection handed down by a relative, or tucked away in a forgotten piggy bank. The key is to examine your coins closely, keep an eye out for anything unusual, and never underestimate the power of a small piece of metal with a big story to tell. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you never miss another hidden gems. Number 4. We're diving into the mystery of one of the most overlooked yet fascinating coins in modern U.S. history, the 2010 Hot Springs Quarter. Now, before you shrug it off as just another state quarter, let me tell you, this one has secrets. And if you stick around, you'll find out how one version of this little coin shocked collectors and fetched a staggering price that no one saw coming. Let's rewind the clock for a moment. In 2010, the United States Mint launched a brand new series called America the Beautiful Quarters, a follow-up to the popular 50-state quarters program. This new series wasn't about states, but about national parks and historic sites. And leading the charge, the very first coin released, was none other than the Hot Springs National Park Quarter. Why Hot Springs? Tucked away in Arkansas, Hot Springs National Park is the oldest protected area in the federal system, even older than Yellowstone. Known for its naturally flowing thermal waters, the park has been a place of healing, rest, and relaxation for centuries. Native American tribes, early settlers, and even presidents have walked its steamy trails and bathed in its historic bathhouses. And the design of the coin? It captures the essence of that legacy beautifully. On the reverse side, you'll see the iconic entrance to the park's headquarters building, flanked by ornate stonework and a decorative fountain, water gently bubbling from the base. It's a peaceful yet majestic design, meant to symbolize the timeless flow of these legendary springs and the enduring spirit of the place. But here's where things get interesting and a little mysterious. Millions of these quarters were minted at facilities in Philadelphia and Denver. Most of them were circulated through banks and businesses, handled countless times, and are worth little more than 25 cents. But a very small number? Those are different. There are proofs, specially made coins with mirror-like finishes, struck in San Francisco for collectors. There are silver versions made for limited edition sets. And then, there are the anomalies. The errors. The rare strikes that slipped past quality control and into the wild. Imagine a Hot Springs quarter that was struck off-center, or one with a doubled image, or perhaps one missing the outer clad layer, exposing the copper underneath. These errors might look strange to most people, even like defects, but to collectors, they're gold. Combine that with a coin in perfect, untouched condition, preserved from the moment it left the mint, and what do you get? Something truly extraordinary. Coin experts often talk about eye appeal, and this coin, when flawless, has it. The symmetry of the building, the detail of the stonework, the smooth fields around it, all of these factors play into how desirable it becomes in the collector world. And when that visual perfection meets historical importance and a rare production error, the value can skyrocket. So the next time you're flipping through your pocket change or going through that old drawer of coins passed down from a relative, don't ignore the Hot Springs Quarter. Check the date. Check the details. You could be holding something far more valuable than you think. In fact, one such coin, a 2010 Hot Springs Quarter, preserved in pristine condition with an incredibly rare minting error, was sold to a private collector for an unbelievable price of $42,000. Yes. $42,000. From a single quarter. It's coins like these that remind us of the hidden value in the everyday. What seems like a small piece of metal might just be a historical gem, a collector's dream, or a financial surprise waiting to be discovered. Thanks for joining us on this coin collecting journey. If you enjoy learning about rare finds, valuable coins, and the stories behind them, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You never know, your next adventure might be hiding in plain sight. Number 5. Maybe looking for laundry money or something to toss in the parking meter. Your fingers land on a slightly worn quarter from the year 2000. You flip it over. It shows a familiar shape, a state outline. And standing proudly at its center is a figure from history, the Minuteman. At first glance, it's just another state quarter, something you've seen hundreds of times. But what if I told you that this ordinary-looking coin might be hiding an extraordinary secret? One that, in the right condition, has stunned collectors and made one lucky person very, very rich. Let's dive into the story of the 2000 Massachusetts State Quarter, a coin that honors revolution, resilience, and, for a few lucky finders, real riches. This quarter was the sixth coin released in the U.S. Mint's legendary 50 State Quarters program. Massachusetts was the first state to join the Union after the original 13 colonies, and its coin proudly reflects its pivotal role in American history. On the reverse side, you'll find the iconic silhouette of the state behind a powerful image, the Minuteman. He stands tall and determined, musket in hand, representing the brave militia who fought in the earliest battles of the American Revolution. These weren't professional soldiers, they were farmers, tradesmen, and everyday citizens who were ready to defend their land at a moment's notice. Hence the name, Minuteman. Surrounding the figure are the words "the Bay State," Massachusetts' nickname, a nod to its rich colonial heritage and its roots in the nation's founding story. But while the design pays tribute to the past, the real story of this coin, at least for collectors, is about what came next. Millions of these quarters were minted at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, making them fairly common. Most were used in everyday transactions, clinking around in pockets and purses, fading and wearing over time. But like any mass production process, mistakes can happen. And those mistakes? That's where things get exciting. You see, there are a few rare versions of the Massachusetts quarter that were struck with minting errors, some so subtle you'd never notice them unless you knew exactly what to look for. Double die obverse errors, die cracks, misaligned strikes, and even off-center images have all been reported. These aren't just defects, they're rare variations, and they command serious attention in the numismatic world. But rarity isn't the only factor that determines a coin's value. Condition plays a massive role too. A coin fresh from the mint, never circulated, with all its details sharp and its surface gleaming, that's called a mint state coin. And when these coins are graded at the highest level, like MS-69 or the near-perfect MS-70, collectors are willing to pay top dollar, especially if a rare error is involved. So now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one of these? The answer is to examine your coins carefully. Check for unusual marks, doubling in the lettering or design, and anything that looks off. If you think you've got something special, it's worth sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A tiny detail could make all the difference between a regular coin and a collector's dream. And speaking of dreams, let's talk numbers, because one such coin, a 2000 Massachusetts State Quarter featuring a rare mint error and preserved in pristine condition, didn't just make headlines. It made history. That single coin, uncirculated and highly sought after, was sold in the private market for an astonishing total of $52,000. Yes, you heard that right. $52,000. For a coin that, to the untrained eye, looked like any other in your change jar.so. If you've got a stack of old quarters lying around, especially from the year 2000, it's time to start flipping. That Minuteman might be standing guard over more than just history, he might be guarding a treasure. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy discovering the incredible stories behind everyday coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss another hidden treasure. Until next time, keep your eyes open, because history and fortune might be just one coin away.